Hey guys, Lucas here, and I got a special guest with me is from the Jack Mullet Show. Jack, hey, how's it going, man?
Good, man. Get the crown going there.
There you go. Yep. It was just found out recently on his channel that he is a LA Kings fan. It was a mystery of which team he supported, and he said once he got to 500 subscribers, he would let everyone know, and he finally got that. Actually, congratulations for getting to 500.
Thanks, man. It was a long time coming, but hey, we made it.
Nice, nice. Yep. Someday I'll get there. Someday.
Yeah, yeah.
So the Kings played the Panthers last night, and good win for you guys. Bad win for us. Put us in a very bad spot heading into the Thanksgiving break.
Right.
And with the NHL, usually if you're in a playoff spot by the American Thanksgiving, you're going to make the playoffs about 77% of the time. Unfortunately, the Maple Leafs kind of skew that stat because every time they're in the playoff spot by Thanksgiving, they always end up missing it.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
So, but
So
you
are
guys are in a
you?
good spot as well in the standings. What you guys are first in the Pacific?
Yeah, and you know it's crazy because I was just checking out the standings before I got on with you, and you're right. A lot of times people think, okay, come Thanksgiving, most teams that are in are going to be in, and what's crazy is that the Panthers are sitting at 20 points and out of the playoffs, and the Kings only have 6 more points in them, and they're first in their division. So it just tells you how tight things are these days.
Yeah, definitely. And for years past, the West used to be the better conference of the East, and now the East seems to have gone the way of being the best conference in the league. So
Yeah, it's tight, man. People think that I know they say you can't make the playoffs in October or whatever, but I mean if you can get off to a 3-4 game winning streak right off the bat and just put yourself into a good position, I mean, yeah, every point matters.
definitely, and that's unfortunately that's the thing with the Panthers is they just have not been able to get any sort of traction at all this season. Like they have
Right.
not been able to string together at least a 3-game winning streak, and this is why they're in the spot they're in. Um, so what did you take from that game last night for the
Well, it
positive for
was
the Kings?
yeah. The first period they came out great. I mean, they were just owning the possession. They were getting tons of shots on goal. I was a little surprised that Daryl Sutter used his coach's challenge on that play. I thought, I mean, it's going to take because the referees waved the goal off, so it was going to take something pretty significant on that video replay for them to overturn it. And I didn't think that. I mean, maybe there was a little bit of a, Shore was diving, maybe he was pushed a little, but it wasn't anything significant enough that I thought, Sutter was going to challenge for it. But I can see why he did it. He took a shot. He had a cold goalie coming in. His team was playing great. If he could get up 2-0, then go for it. But first period, yeah, it was all LA, and then typical Kings. That's the problem that I have with the Kings is they can just never get like a 3-0 lead or something. They always they hang around and let teams stay in it. And Florida came back and tied.
Yeah, and then the Kings unfortunately just went in the third and just ended up taking over the lead and the game in that point. The problem with Florida is with our game is we just pass too much, just way too much
Mm.
passing, and you guys outshot us, I believe, in the first period, like 20-4. And
Yeah,
then we finally came back and evened up the shots pretty much for the rest of the game. But you can't play catch up, and that's what Florida has been doing. Like against the Rangers, they fell behind early, came back, almost lost the game, down 4-2 with like 2 minutes left. They ended up squeezing out a point against the Rangers. But you can't play that type of hockey against teams that are elite, like the Kings and the Red Wings and the Rangers. So.
yeah, yeah. And I was watching the Florida Panthers feed on the game, and Denny Potvin even said it a couple times, like just shoot the puck. They were sometimes getting into pretty good positions to score or get a chance on net, and they just weren't taking it. So
Yeah, again, the best pass in rebound is a shot on net.
yeah,
It's like that's the best pass is the
yeah,
rebound. You
yeah. It's
just gotta
never
get
a
it
bad
on net. You
idea.
never know what can happen.
Yeah, never a bad idea to get the puck on the net. But anyways, I was first off, have you heard anything about Montoya after that injury? That was a pretty nasty collision that he took.
Yeah, he it seems like he's okay. One of my followers on Twitter says he has an inside source,
Uh-huh.
and he says that it looks like it was just precautionary reasons to keep him out for the rest of the game.
Okay.
Probably just a strain on his neck, so I think he'll be all right.
Well, that's good news because I know they were looking to give Luongo a break there. He started a lot of games. It was like 7 or 8 games in a row,
About
and
that.
yeah, he thought he was going to get the night off, but no, first period he's right in there. It's tough.
Yeah, we have to kind of limit his games. If he's not getting any younger.
Right.
And my preview for the season, I said if anything, he's gonna play maybe 50 games. I think 50 games is the benchmark, maybe a little bit more for him, and then Montoya can play the rest. Because again, if we're going to make the playoffs, you're gonna need him fresh. So
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing about just from what I saw from last night, it looks like the Panthers give up quite a few shots each game. So, I mean, that's, some goalies can play 65, 70 games because they're not getting as much action as some other players. But yeah, I'd like to see them give him a little bit of break too, because like you said, he's not getting any younger.
no, he's not. Um, so pretty much, now big thing I want to talk about, like on Twitter right now, everybody is just up in arms with the Panthers right now because again, Thanksgiving break. As of right now, again, there's still 2 days left of games and teams above them playing,
Right.
and below them, 3 points out of the playoff spot right now, heading into Thanksgiving. Could be 5, could maybe even be more. And everyone's just going on about this blueprint that Talon had. You clearly probably heard it in the NHL. That's his blueprint. He's got a blueprint for the Panthers. He said it when he came in for the Panthers. It was like 2010, and we're not seeing anything result from it. Like we have this talent. Like we've drafted all these young guys, and they're just not living up to their potential. Like with Huberdeau, a lot of people say, okay, he's a playmaker. But you're on the top line, you still should be at least scoring, and he's only got like 1 or 2 goals this season.
Yeah, he's got 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because I was really, especially how they did last year. I really thought the Panthers were going to, this was their time. The good young players are really going to come up. They got it, another year for Ekblad to kind of develop and stuff. And I look at their leading scorers, and it's Yager and Jokinen, 2 guys who are a little bit older, over 30 and over 40. So, I mean, do you think maybe they are just still a year out, or?
Well, I think that the thing that hurt us is we kind of were really quiet during the offseason, the free agency time. Again, we had that trade with Boston, got Riley Smith. He's been a great addition so far, but we needed another piece. I know Talon, again, it was part of the blueprint. He's like, okay, well, this is the young team's team now. It's their time to shine. And again, like I said, I really haven't seen much. We really should have added another key player. Again, I think this free agency market during the last summer kind of sucked. It wasn't the best one.
Yeah.
But again, there were guys out there we could have gotten. Like I know a lot of people in Florida are actually happy that Fleischman is doing well in Montreal, but
he is.
He's doing well because he's surrounded by good players.
Yeah,
by a good team.
Yeah.
Like if say Florida was to get him miraculously tomorrow, he's not going to be the same guy.
Right. Yeah, we see that all the time with players. You got, Phil Kessel's a 35 goal scorer with the Leafs, who are terrible. Then he goes into Pittsburgh, and people were expecting a 50-goal season, and that's just not going to happen. And same thing with the Penguins with bringing in a guy like David Perron, and they just don't live up to it. But one thing I will say about the Panthers, it's kind of one of my issues with the Kings. The Kings get most of their scoring from their top or from the Jeff Carter, Tyler Toffoli, Milan Lucic line. And when I look at the Panthers, it's pretty balanced as far as the scoring and the points. There's not one guy. I mean, yeah, Yager and Jokinen are leading, but there's a handful of guys that got 10 points or more, a handful of guys that got 7 goals or more. So maybe they got, that going for them. They got that nice balance, and a couple guys can really step up. They could probably make a run at this thing.
Yeah, again, we just got another thing too that is going on with Panther fans right now is they want Gallant fired, and they're pretty much now calling for Talon's head as well, because the blueprint hasn't really progressed much. But I do have some problems with Gallant. Again, my past videos, I try to be patient with him because, again, he vastly improved the team last season. But he does have a problem late in games. He continues to roll 4 lines.
Right.
When you're down in late game, you need to put out your best players, your top 1 or 2 lines, Again, you don't want to kill these guys, but again, you do want to give yourself a chance to win. And then, again, I know he wants to give playing time to every player he can, but as much as I like Thornton, he is kind of a weight to the team at the moment. Just he can't score. He can't his leadership skills are phenomenal. But again, in the end, it's whoever has the most goals. It's not who has the most leadership that wins the game.
Yeah. I was curious about that too at last night's game. There was probably about 55 seconds or so left in the game. Panthers had the goalie pulled, and they were scanning the camera along the Panthers bench, and Yager was on the bench, Ekblad was on the bench, and I'm like, what? Don't you want those guys on the ice right now? Like, I didn't understand that at all.
No, that's Gallant for you. He just loves to keep the 4 lines rolling. So it's like you gotta again against the Rangers. We didn't do that. We put out our best players. Lo and behold, what happened? We came back and tied the game against the Rangers. So it's like you got to put out your best players in the end.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least Barkov's back from his injury. He's played fantastic ever since he's gotten back as well. So, you get everyone healthy and playing well. I still think the Panthers, because I know they got some good teams in front of them in the standings, like Tampa and the Islanders, but I wonder how long teams like New Jersey and Boston are really going to be in the playoff picture. And like you said, if they can just start stringing a few wins together consistently, in a matter of a week, they could be sitting in a wild card spot easily.
Yeah, exactly. Again, hopefully the teams that are above us next 2 games, they lose, and we'll continue to sit just 3 points out. And then again, hopefully we can just string together a nice winning streak next week or 2, and then bam, we're right back into it. The confidence will be up, and again, hopefully we can just keep it going, because in the Eastern Conference, I think you're gonna need about 94 plus points to make the playoffs this season.
Right. Yeah. So the first, we're about 25% of the way done in the season. If you were to give the Panthers like a grade, A, B, C, whatever, how do you think they've performed so far?
I'm probably gonna have to go with the C plus.
Yeah.
Again, I'm probably gonna have to give the coaching staff the lowest grade of a probably an F plus.
Oh wow.
They're just not. Gallant's just not getting. He's not rolling the 4. He's just rolling the 4 lines too much. He's not putting in guys that can score. Like the 4th line is pretty much our speed line, but then you put Thornton in there, and it just drags us down. Ekblad's ice time really hasn't been as great as it should have. Again, I'm a fan of Mitchell. I try to defend him, but he's been burnt so many times on the ice.
Yeah, he's getting
the last
old.
few games. So it's like he's starting to slow down. He's getting up there in age. So
yeah. That's why the Kings let him go.
Yeah, I can see that now.
Yeah. If I was thinking about the Kings, I'd probably go like a B plus or so. They kind of, again, my only big issue with them is I feel like they played Doughty way too much. Last night he played over 30 minutes again, and they should have 3 lines that can score consistently with the talent that's on that team. And they rely so much on Carter, Toffoli, and Lucic. And when those guys don't score, as we saw the other night when they played Detroit, then they don't win. So, yeah.
No, no, that's if I was a coach, like again, I probably being hypocritical, but I would like to roll 4 lines. If you have a solid, or if I was a GM, I'd want to get guys where I could have 4 lines that could be absolutely solid and fearful, like the Bruins. For a
Right.
while, they could roll 4 lines, and they were dangerous every single line.
Yeah. Yeah. You got any other big NHL stories or anything that have just kind of caught your attention the first part of the season?
Yeah, a couple things. The All-Star game, that's going to be kind of an interesting format to do,
Yeah.
3-on-3.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious how to see that. Like at first I thought it was kind of silly when I heard about it, but then I'm like, it's the All-Star game, it's an exhibition, it doesn't mean anything. So if they want to mix it up a little and try something new, then go for it. As long as they don't try and bring that into like some type of a regular season thing where we always play 3-on-3, then if they want to mess up the All-Star game or whatever, mess with it. That's fine with me.
Yeah, and maybe, again, I think the ratings have kind of dropped, too, for the All-Star game. So I think that might bring in people because, as we've seen on 3-on-3, it's crazy in the
Yeah.
overtime periods,
Yeah. Yeah. So are you a fan of the 3-on-3 overtime?
Uh, yeah, if I want to die of a heart attack, I am, yeah.
Yeah.
It's stressful, but it is fun to watch. It is fun to watch, I'll admit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got some exciting stuff, and it really you have to have the skill and the speed. Thornton's not going to be out there or anything like that, and the Kings fourth liners just sit and watch. So it takes away a lot of that the enforcer grit, that kind of fourth line mentality, and you just throw your stars out there and sees what happens. So
Yep.
it is exciting.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch it. So.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, yeah, that's all I got, Jack. I got anything else to add?
No, thanks for keeping us informed with all the Panther stuff, and enjoy all your videos and everything, and share them whenever I see them, and retweet your tweets whenever you get into it with some of those Tampa Bay beat writers. I enjoy that stuff.
Yeah, it's like you think they would support another South Florida team, but
Yeah.
hey, go figure. Go figure.
Yeah. I've always
I love your videos too, Jack. Keep up the great work. Again, congratulations on 500. And
thanks.
like I said, that torch video has to be my favorite of all time.
Yeah, that's I was thinking about doing another one here pretty soon with like Dowdy or something. So we'll see what happens.
Nice. All right, cool. Thanks for coming on, Jack. And everybody, make sure to give him a follow on Twitter. I got his link down below. And subscribe to his channel. Link is down also below. I'll see you later, guys.
See you.